If after that, the hospital sends you a bill for $10,000 more, that's when you want to loop in ELAC, because they're going to handle that and make sure you're capped out at your $4,000.
And so most of your claims, right, over 90% of your claims are for the people that you see, the doctors. So many of you might not have a facility claim over here, and you might not need to deal with ELAC. But in the event that you do have a hospital stay or a facility claim, it's good to know what you need to do in the event you get a balance bill. Any other questions?
Yeah, one more. So is there a time frame on that? Let's say, for instance, you were in the hospital 6 months, you forgot to mail this in, right? Is there a time frame?
No. So if you forgot, when you remember, send it in. We will work on your behalf. For the life of the claim, we would work on your behalf if you left John Eagle. Regardless of anything, if we were working together and we audited that bill, we will provide legal defense. If you ignored the balance bill, and you ignored the collection notice, and you ignored the summons that showed up on your front door, and then a year later you said, hey, ELAC, can you help me out? It's going to be difficult for us to do anything on your behalf. But certainly, if you have something that's been sitting around and maybe it's been a few months, send it and we will go to work and do the best that we can related to that.
Is there a minimum? So in other words, if it's like $100, does it have to be like 500 and above, or is it if it's $100, send it in? You know?
Send it in. Send it in, no matter the amount, and we will work on your behalf. There are times when, depending on the amount, we would actually look to provide additional reimbursement to the hospital in lieu of legal defense, because maybe it doesn't make sense to pay the legal expense when you're getting a $59 bill. But that would not impact your out-of-pocket responsibility at all, and you would be notified of the next steps on your individual file. So we would tell you this has been resolved and there's no additional amount required on your behalf.
I guess my last question is, does it have to be a hospital visit, or what if it was like a dermatology or just medical?
Yeah. So ELAP only handles your facility bills. So if we did not audit the claim, then we can't help you with the legal defense. So we wouldn't handle a doctor bill or a dermatologist bill. But if you're not sure, if ELAP audited it, you get a bill and you look at it and go, oh, I'm not sure, send it and we'll let you know. We'll tell you what the next best step is. We'll put you in touch with the right contact at GPA if it's a claim that we did not audit.
Your doctors, like if you go to the doctor or dermatologist, if you're going in a network provider, they are contractually bound to only bill you an agreed upon rate. So that they can't bill you above and beyond what's agreed to in the network for them. So that's kind of a protection that's in place on your doctors.
Okay, so I'll be here if you think of any other questions or have an individual item that you want to discuss.
All right, so health savings account. Who knows what this is or is participating in health savings account? Good. All right, so I participate in one of these two. So for option C, right, so I wouldn't say necessarily the downside, but one of the things that you do have to be aware of with option C is that there are no copays, not only for your doctor, but not only also for your prescription drugs, right? So you're paying everything up until that deductible / out-of-pocket maximum is met. So one of the advantages to this plan is that you can participate in a health savings account. You can only contribute towards this if you're on Plan C. What it is, it's a pre-tax account. So the funds that you put into this account are not taxed. And it's a bank account that you actually own. You get a debit card. So when you go to the doctor and you owe $100 for your doctor's visit, you can swipe that debit card. If you go to the pharmacy and you need your $25 prescription, you can swipe that debit card from your HSA account. So it's pre-tax funds that you can contribute to grow the account for when you do need something major, or if you just want to use it for your regular expenses throughout the year. Someone pointed out the IRS allows you to contribute $3,500 in 2019 if you have individual coverage. So the deductible / out-of-pocket on option C is $4,000, so you can almost pay for that entire amount of potential liability and the contribution limit. If you cover your family, you can contribute up to $7,000. Okay? So again, it's a bank account you own. The funds roll over year to year. You don't have to use them. If you don't want, you can grow it over time. If you ever left employment here, you would take it with you. John Eagle doesn't have any control over the account. It's an account that's in your name. Okay? These funds can also be used for your dental and vision expenses. So I'd say if you're on option C, set aside at least a little bit of money. I mean, you have flexibility to do whatever you want, but it's almost a no-brainer in a lot of ways to do it just because of the tax savings. So if you know you have a certain amount of expenses in prescription drugs throughout the year, it makes sense to at least contribute that amount to the health savings account to save on the tax, to get the tax benefit of it. Any questions on that?
It says here you're entitled to 1/12 of the maximum contribution for each month, which what exactly that means.
So it works with payroll. So if you say I want to contribute $2,000 next year, it's going to divide it up equally among your payroll contributions. So that's kind of what that's saying.
And FYI on that, you guys are going to be enrolling through Exponent HR on your benefits. If you select Plan C, it is going to do a pop-up and it's going to say HSA Bank, so you guys can create an account. If you already have an account, please disregard that. But if you do not have an account, you want to set one up, please follow through with that and set up an account online. The other part about the HSA is, right now, if you're on an HSA and you're contributing, we are rolling over those contribution amounts, or what we're deducting, into 2019. You guys won't be able to change anything on your HSA until after 1/1 of 19. With our plan year being a 2/1 and with it being right at the end of the year, you can't do anything right now with changing your HSA. So when you're talking about the contribution amount there over the 12 months, if you go in there, you'll have to do a life event if you want to change the amount you're putting into your HSA through Exponent HR. Any questions on that? Okie dokie.
All right. Yeah, and they're eligible for any of the covered expenses under your plan, any of your medical, your prescription drug, but also your dental and vision expenses, which we will talk about now. So your dental plan is not changing for this year. There was previously a 12-month waiting period, especially those of you who are new to the, well, I guess most ever this is a new location, so there's previously a 12-month waiting period for major services. If you had to have surgery, root canal, stuff like that. Now, if you need that, and you had coverage before, dental coverage before, that exclusion is no longer in place, so probably won't impact really anyone, but just wanted to make sure you're aware of that. You have a choice of 2 plans. Option A is a richer plan, so it has a lower deductible, higher annual maximum, and it covers orthodontia for kids. But obviously, you can see in your guide, you pay a little bit more out of your paycheck for that plan. It does cover your cleanings, your twice annual checkups with the regular x-rays, 100%. If you participate in these plans and you're paying for it, you might as well go get those done because that's part of what you're paying for. But then, if you did have something that would fall into a basic, filling, crown, stuff like that, or something more major, that's where the deductible would come in, and you would pay the co-insurance after that amount, and then the plan would pay up to $1,000 per person. Any questions on dental? Vision plan, for those of you who use the vision benefits, still through IMED, nothing changing. If you want to go in network, you can go to the website to find network providers near you. You get flat co-pays for your exam and your materials, lenses. You can get frames every 2 years. In the years you don't get frames, you can get contact lenses for those of you who wear those. You can see what's presented on that. All right. There's a few other providers that are in IMED's network. All right, so I'll have Fernando come up. He's going to talk to you about your life and disability benefits with Lincoln.
Good morning. Morning. You guys bored yet? Huh? This stuff gets boring, doesn't it? Comes around once a year and you just want to forget about it.
We're close to the end.
Yeah, we're close to the end, so we're almost there. Things I want to be talking about is basic life accident death and dismemberment. This is a program you guys have right now. It's all this year, I believe it's $50,000 that you guys have, which is an increase over what you've had before. Okay, and that's company paid, so you don't pay anything for it. You got the voluntary life insurance, you've got the short-term disability, and you've got the long-term disability that's also provided for you. And I'll go through those as we go along. Company paid basic life insurance, that's company paid, so you have that at no cost to you. One thing I'll remind you about is make sure that you take a look at your beneficiaries this go around, because things happen in a year in your lifetime. I had to change my secondary beneficiary because he passed away. So those things happen, and sometimes you just it's just like benefits, you forget about it. make sure you make those changes, because if something were to happen to you on a primary beneficiary, and this has happened, where there's a separation and divorce, something like that happens, the previous wife or the previous spouse can, if you don't change it, you can't do anything about it. They can't do anything about it. The monies will be paid to the one that's on that beneficiary form. So make sure you take a look at it. Voluntary life insurance, a lot of you have that right now, okay? This year, if you have it, you can take advantage of increasing that $10,000 or $20,000 on yourself without any medical questions asked, okay? If you have insurance on your spouse, you can take $5,000 or $10,000 on them as well, okay, with no medical questions asked. The rule is that you can go up to 5 times your annual salary. But anytime you go over that, the 10 or 20 that you're able to go up, it's going to generate an EOI form, evidence of insurability form. That has to be filled out either online or a paper app and submitted through HR for it to be, it to become effective. Okay?
Now, if you're new to the company, you're not increasing, you can go to that 5 times, or?
I'm sorry?
If you're new to the company and you're not increasing at all, can you do that 5 times your annual income, or you can get the EOI on that?
Anytime you go over, this year, if you're a new employee
Yeah.
and you don't have insurance, you go, oh, I'm gonna take advantage of that. You can do that, but you're gonna have to fill out every section.
Okay.
Okay. Good question. And just remember, guys, that anything that you select this year, I don't care what it is, the core benefit or supplementary benefits, make sure you check your pay stub, the first pay stub that you're gonna get on the new year. It's always important. That way you'll catch something that may not be there or shouldn't be there, okay? So make sure you do that. Any questions on the life insurance? No? Short-term disability and long-term disability. Short-term disability is a 13-week benefit. Okay, there's a 14-day elimination period or 2 weeks. So the benefit amount that you receive is for 11 weeks. And the benefit is 60% of your base salary. And that'll cover you, like I said, for 13 weeks, total of 90 days. It has embedded into the program a maternity benefit for those that might choose to use it. So it's in there, as well as the 6 and an 8 week benefit. Benefits you receive from this are tax-free dollars, so you don't get taxed on it. So any income tax that's being taken out of your check right now, in case you were to go into that short-term disability, that would not be taken out of it. You also have a survivor benefit. That's why your beneficiary is real important. Your survivor benefit, if you were to pass away while you're on short-term disability, your beneficiary receives 3 weeks of whatever the benefit you will receive, okay, whatever that may be. They would receive that for a 3-week period. Excuse me. Any questions on this? For those of you who already have it, it's great. If you don't have it and you want to apply for it, you can. There is a pre-existing clause in this as well as on the short-term disability, long-term disability. In your booklet that you have, page 14 to 17, I believe, it'll explain that to you in more detail for you. Okay? Any questions on the short-term disability? You guys are making it much too easy. It's like buying a car, right? Sign the dotted line. Let me go back again. Long-term disability, I didn't do that. Long-term disability begins 90 days after your disability. Short-term is the first 13 weeks, pays weekly. Long-term disability pays on a monthly basis. Same principle, 60% of your base salary. That'll be paid for as long as you're disabled. If you were to reach, if that was into your retirement years, Social Security years, it would pay up until then, and Social Security would take up after that. But if you're going to be off a year or 2 years, it'll pay for that period of time. And that gets paid on a monthly basis, not a weekly basis. Okay? And again, that's provided to you. Critical illness. Critical illness basically means heart attack, stroke, cancer, organ transplants, anything like that. There's a benefit amount. You can go up to $10,000, $5,000 on your spouse, and $5,000 on your children. This is paid upon diagnosis. A lot of companies will pay so much for the hospital, so much for the doctor, room and board, and everything else. This gives you a lump sum benefit. So, and it's upon diagnosis. With cancer, if you were diagnosed with cancer and you have a $10,000 benefit upon diagnosis, that is paid to you. And that's tax-free. You can use that however way you want to. You can pay doctors, you can pay co-pays, you can pay deductibles, whatever you want, that's there for you to use however you want. Okay? There's a $75 wellness benefit. Basically, when you guys go into your wellness benefit every year, you guys get that free physical that you go to the doctor with. There's a list of 24, 26 different tests that they can run. Either one of those tests qualifies you for that $75. And you apply for it after you take that your physical, and you just submit that to us. And it takes 5 or 10 days after we get it, and it's $75 that you receive for everyone that's under your program. Okay, so if you have you and your spouse, your whole family, then they all get that $75 once they go ahead. Any questions on this? Gosh, you guys are making it really easy. Accident insurance. This is a real unique program. The accident program covers you for any type of accident where you end up going to urgent care or the emergency room. Just put out a lot of bullet points there, but in occasion where you're on the job or off the job accident, you end up going to the emergency room. In your booklet, it covers a little bit more in detail, but it covers ambulance ride, it covers the admittance into the hospitals, $150 for going to the emergency room. Then if you're admitted into the hospital, it pays you an additional $1,000. And then it covers you for a variety of different things, broken arms, broken legs, dislocations. You get something in your eye, it has to get washed out, minor surgery in your eye. It'll pay, I think it's up to $300. So it covers quite a bit of benefits in case that were to happen to you because of an accident. And, excuse me, and that money comes to you as tax-free dollars. And you can use that however way you want. If you don't sign it over to the doctor or the hospital, that's yours. Okay? And you can include yourself, your spouse, you and the kids, you and the family, however way you want to do it. It covers kids in sports as well. You hear of all kinds of these broken arms, broken legs in sports, especially soccer. It's amazing how many accidents in soccer. But that's all available to you. It's all voluntary. It's like going to a cafeteria. You pick and choose whatever you want. Okay? Any questions on any of this? There's one right there. No? Okay, good to go. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, so the Legal Shield and ID Shield. Who's ever had a traffic ticket? I know there's more than that. Issue. So basically, any type of issue they can handle. Traffic tickets. I've had issues with apartment leases, landlords. If there's something that comes up with even car wreck and responsibility. Lawyers are extremely expensive if you have to go find a lawyer and pay them an hour for doing things like even making a will, right? Through Legal Shield, if you enroll that benefit, you have access to a lawyer for all those type of things. Getting traffic tickets thrown out, getting letters sent to the contractor or for landlord issues. If you go through a divorce, you can use the lawyers for that. So really important benefits to think about on that. A lot of times that stuff comes up when we're not even really expecting it, and it's nice to have that in place. Identity theft protection, we all know your data is electronic. There's been a lot of news stuff come out with big companies and data breaches. It's really more a matter of time. It's not a question of if, but when your data will be compromised in some way. I'm sure there's those of us in this room who've gotten a call from the credit card company about suspicious spending or something like that. You have to turn off the credit card, get a new one open, right? So identity theft protection is that enhanced monitoring up front that will help control and spot those issues before they escalate. But they also have stuff on the back end if your credit is ever compromised, any of the costs to restore you to whole, any of the legal costs with that. There's those protections baked into the identity theft protection. So kind of similar to the stuff you hear advertised on the radio, but you're getting it at your preferred range. Okay? And with that, just a reminder, it's all going to be through the Exponent HR system. You might want to try to log in again on your phone. I know a lot of you guys are able to log in, but it's going to be through that system. Once you get in, it's really easy to navigate. It'll show you what you currently have, what your costs are for your different lines of coverage. So you want to make sure and get that done. I wouldn't wait until the last minute because if you wait and there's a system issue or a connection issue, it just turns into a big nightmare for you. So get those completed. It's a really easy system to navigate. Any other questions about anything we covered? Oh, and your benefits aren't automatically rolled over. So if you're just like, well, I like option C, I'm on that, and the dental, you still got to go out and select the plan you want or to decline on your medical, dental, and vision. All right, so everyone needs to go out and make their elections. Okay? All right, well, I appreciate everyone's time. Hope you have a great rest of
I
your
have one other thing,
Yeah.
real quick. In the other meeting, it got asked about 401K. I am working on trying to get you guys, so you guys can start participating in the 401K plan. There's been some, I'm trying to combine some plans, because a couple different ones deal due to ownership rights, but basically the new 401K, you have to just be here 60 days and you can start participating in the 401K plan. If you're gonna make any contributions, it'll be done through Exponent HR, where you guys can actually put in different contribution amounts in there. You just have to make sure you do it 4 days before payroll to make sure that the contribution amount gets updated. But it is not in effect yet, but I'm hoping to get it started at the beginning of next year so you guys can start participating in the 401K.
What is the match?
It's up 2% up to your earned income, and then it's up to, I think it's like $1,300, I think is the max. So, and the employer match does not start until after you've been here a year. So that got brought up. You guys, if you've been employed here, you guys opened last year in January. So if you were been here a year since then the match would start. So again, we want to get you guys set up so we can get you in there. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm working on it. Yes, sir.
Will you be coming back around if that does get set up, or?
Yes, we'll definitely set up